My grandpa grew up in a time where westerns were as popular as superhero movies are today. He, along with millions of other children, would watch cowboys and Indians duel it out on TV screens across America. These westerns were tales of America's folk heroes, stories of good and bad, stories about morality and about choosing the right path, living by a code. One such show that influenced my grandfather was The Lone Ranger, a show about a man who stood against the bad and always did what was right, and famously never stuck around for a thank you.
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
I was watching, hearing him on radio, because it went back to the 50s. He was on radio then, and then television came out, and I started watching on television. I enjoyed how he really got started. He was with a group of rangers that were chasing after these outlaws. They were a big outlaw gang in Texas, and they were all killed by this outlaw gang that ambushed him. Now, the Lone Ranger was shot. At that time, he was just a ranger, plain ranger, and I don't remember what his name was before. But then when he was found by this Indian, Tonto, that one time that the Lone Ranger, when he was younger, he saved Tonto from, I guess it was a sickness or something. And Tonto happened to be coming along soon after this happened, and he found that the Lone Ranger was still alive. Well, they buried all the Rangers, and they made a grave for the Lone Ranger. They'll think that that gang that ambushed him thought that they were all dead, and he went out after him, that he was going to capture him or end up sending him to jail. And so anyhow, Tonto nursed him back to life again, and then they became very good friends, and they rode together. And at the way the Lone Ranger says, well, I'll be going after the crooks and that of the out west, and that's when Tonto and him, got together. And he went from town to town wherever there was trouble, and he would solve it. He never took credit. He would never take any reward, because he was pretty well. He had a silver mine, and that's how he was using the bullets, silver bullets. He used to make his bullets out of silver, and that was one of his, what do you call it? I don't know what you would call that, but he enjoyed, he enjoyed going after the criminal, and it showed young people that when the movie came out, that they should do the right thing and follow the law and that. It taught me to be humble and try to help people as much as I can,
What taught you to be humble? Like, what characteristics that the Lone Ranger did stuck with you as you watched?
Well, like I said, that he would go and maybe take the people out, the crooks out of the town, and he was humble. He would just leave, and it wouldn't take no credit. And then afterwards, the people knew that he was the Lone Ranger, and it spread all over the West, with him, and that's why he went down into history as as the Lone Ranger.
American Westerns teach boys how to conduct themselves as men, that there are things you must stand for. There is bad and there is good, and good is worth fighting for. Westerns created an escape for Americans from a not-so-black and white world. In Westerns like The Lone Ranger, there was always a clear right and wrong choice to be made. The Lone Ranger shows us that it is honorable to stand for what is good against the crowd. Shows like The Lone Ranger play to our sense of individuality and doing good to others. Westerns are pure American. It's one of the things we can claim as ours, something of our own creation. Westerns are our legends, with as much meaning as the legends of the knights and dragons do in Europe. They are America's essence, and as long as there is an America, Westerns will be right there along with it.